So, while you guys are getting ready, does anyone remember whereabouts you got to and what you were doing? Does anyone remember whereabouts you got to and what you were doing?
So I remember that. Oh, we let the guys in the gate, didn't we?
We did. And we then decked, completely decked.
Fucked everyone up.
Yeah, we did. And then there was this scroll.
And where did the scroll come from?
It was.
No, yeah. We needed to go to Winterhold.
Yep.
That was
to do our quest.
Yes, we're catching a ship, but we're not on the ship yet. We've only just got to Winterhold, in fact.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, we've only just got to Winterhold, and we're in the middle of shopping still. If I recall correctly.
So essentially, you guys managed to take Markov back from the Reachmen. You drove those dread Reachmen out and made your way urgently to Winterhold because you've got this letter here. Maybe you want to reread it just to remind yourself of what's going on.
Yes, please.
Shall I read it to you, or do you guys want to? Does someone want to do the honors?
Read it, but in my voice.
Read it in your voice, okay.
Read it in your voice and then slowly transition into my voice like in movies.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Agents, congratulations for your role in bringing Riften into the fold. Time is of the essence, so you must move quickly. An Argonian ship has been seized at dock in Windhelm and commandeered by Jarl Stormcloak. 2 days hence, it will arrive at Solitude in time for the meeting of the old Ebonhart Pact. You must be on it. Proceed without delay to Winterhold, where the ship will dock briefly to collect you. Use what little time you have to learn about the Ebonhart Pact and our missing Elder Scroll. From the library at the Wizards College. Jarl Stormcloak will explain further when he docks at Winterhold. Zurin Arctus Imperial Battle Mage. Now,
That sounded nothing like me.
do you guys remember? I'm sorry, I can't. No one can do you. You have to do you. You're unique. You're special. So
That's what my mum told me.
and she's right.
That's why I'm such a dick.
So do you guys roughly remember what he's talking about there? Do you remember what the Ebonhart Pact is, or what's
Sort of vaguely. I mean, I'm supposed to know all this stuff, aren't I?
The Ebonhart Pact was an old-timey alliance between Argonians, Khajiit,
Nope. Argonians,
Nords, Dunmer,
and Nords, yeah.
Right. And they're recreating
Three
the
races
Ebonhart.
that hate each other the most.
Yeah, and what they're doing at the moment, because of what Tiber Septim is doing, he is they are recreating the Ebonhart Pact.
That's right.
Because they are being pussies about losing the war.
Pretty much. So the Jarl of Solitude, Jarl Yoren, he's declared himself High King of Skyrim. Not that he's in much of a position to do that. And he's sent out invitations to Morrowind and to Blackmarsh, inviting their leaders to come and treat with him and reform the old Ebonhart Pact. So he's kind of cornered and he's reaching out for help. And your guys managed to intercept one of the invitations, which is where you guys come in. So you guys are being sent in to infiltrate. You are to pose as an Argonian delegate and his entourage, which is why Talon Shay spent time getting dressed up and picking himself out a nice diplomatic gown.
Yeah.
Doesn't he already have pimp clothes?
He has. He's got his pimp clothes.
And we're posing as bodyguards
So
for
you
some
guys are his
reason.
entourage. You're like his bodyguards, his assistants, things like that. You know.
He's like Mark Wahlberg, and we're like all his mates.
Yeah,
He's
sure, okay.
exactly like Mark Wahlberg, and you're exactly like Mark Wahlberg's mates.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
the last thing you guys did, you made it to Winterhold, but you didn't actually go to the college. You went to some of the stores. You went. I believe you just finished bartering for some magical, enchanted goods at the college surplus. Oh, and you managed to get rid of the massive gathering of prostitutes that you were carrying with you all over Skyrim. You also did that last session.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
where did we drop them off?
I think you managed to blag them onto Jarl Balin of Whiterun. I think you managed to get him to take them off you.
Ah.
This seems
Now
like a
what?
mistake.
Now what did I actually buy? Because
I'm not sure you bought anything. I think that I think that someone, I don't recall who, but I think someone bought a few things from the college surplus, some magical items. You might have sold something, but I'm not sure you bought anything, Caecilius.
no, it's just I've got written down here 0 gold, and I certainly don't have the.
Well, you keep giving it away.
I do keep giving it away. That is true.
You keep
But,
giving your gold away. I wish you were one of my friends.
I
Wait,
am
I
one of your
I
friends.
thought you did
Well,
buy
why
some.
don't you give me gold then?
No, yeah, I thought I had bought something because I'd given away. I've given away the goblets that I had and stuff. So
Might you have traded them or sold them?
yeah, I must have traded them for something.
It might be that you spotted somebody the money. If you gave, maybe you gave Tyler one of your goblets so that he could buy something.
Possible.
Chris, can you turn down the music a little bit?
Absolutely.
I can't hear the music at all.
How's that?
Yeah.
You can't hear the music at all, Tyler.
Really?
Nope.
Is the music
Yeah,
in
okay.
game?
The music is in the game.
Yeah, okay, so
Oh.
you got it playing over an MP3 player in the game,
Yeah,
I
it's
guess.
in Tabletop Simulator.
Oh.
Okay, well,
Let me
I
turn the sound, the music.
also still won't be able to hear it then. That's okay.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must have spotted someone else for something.
You didn't spot
because
me.
I don't have anything that I've bought, so
Not me.
pass. But anyway, I got no money, so
You definitely didn't spot me any money because I only bought like oil and stuff.
well, I don't partake in usury anyway. If I gave away the money, I'd have just given it away.
I'm pretty sure you did buy
Usury's a
something, Dave.
sin.
Does
I feel
Stendar
like you-
frown on usury?
In my head canon, he does.
I don't know if that's strictly in the law. I'll have to look it up.
Well, you know, there's what is biblical,
Yep.
and then there's what is dogmatic, right?
Yep,
And
sure.
I'm saying that the Vigilant of Stendar was very much against usury.
Right. Fair enough.
Doesn't matter if that's actually written down anywhere.
Maybe you should write it down.
So, Dave, I do think you bought something. I feel like I remember you buying something.
Well, what was there? Let's see. I didn't make a note of what you bought, but there was
Because you shouldn't have to.
I bought a
scarf
potion.
and some robes for sale.
Mm.
No,
I mean, it's
wouldn't have been
all
me.
kind of magic orientated stuff, right? You're in the College of
It's-
Winterhold.
The thing is, I don't think it's important or matters particularly. I mean, maybe I bought
Okay.
some potions. I don't know.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, I've got like, you know, my equipment's pretty fine anyway. So
Yeah, you guys have kitted out pretty good for the most part. So,
Correct me if I'm wrong, but there was like a rare bookstore or something.
well, you're on your way to the library.
Ah, that might be it.
You're on your way to the library at the College of Winterhold. And do you remember
Cool.
where you're off to when you get there?
An Elder Scroll.
No.
A book about Elder Scrolls.
So you are after. Your principal quest is to prepare yourself with knowledge of the Ebonhart Pact, so that you can successfully pass yourselves off as delegates interested in joining the pact, right?
Yeah.
Your secondary goal, which Emperor Septim gave you, is to keep an eye out, in your research to see if you can find any clues or literature which might give you an idea as to where the Elder Scroll has ended up, essentially. The Elder Scroll that was looted from the Imperial Library in Cyrodiil, it's believed that it ended up in the hands of the Ebonhart Pact all those years ago. So while you're researching the Ebonhart Pact anyway, he's asked you to have a look and see if you can figure out what happened to that Elder Scroll.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Surely I know quite a lot about this stuff.
That's
'cause I'm
why
a
you're there.
scholar on this.
You are the scholar on that matter, which is
So
why
I
he
must-
sent you. You know what
Yes.
books to look at.
Cool. Let's go sit some books.
So
Do you
guys
think I
wanna
could
head to
sell
college?
books to the library? Because I've got loads of books.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, they're a library, so
Yeah.
they're probably interested if you've got rare editions.
I do. I've got some really good stuff here.
Okay. well,
Cog maintenance, anyone?
I mean, I would be very much interested in going to the local church and, thanking Stendar for a safe journey. But also, I'd be interested to see if the college has an enchanter's table, which maybe Firil could use on our behalf.
We do have a Grand Soul Gem that is full.
We have a few of them, actually.
Yeah.
I
It'll
have
cost
one,
you.
certainly.
What'll it cost us, Firo?
Just a smile.
Fuck off.
Wow, couldn't even give me that.
Prick.
So do you guys have any idea where you want to go? You want to go have a pray somewhere, or you want to go straight to the college, or you want to go, I don't know, go to the pub?
I'm eager to get to those books.
You want to get to the books?
Yeah,
I
but
wouldn't
if
mind
other,
getting some blessings.
if other people want to go do cool stuff like pray or go to the pub, that's fine. Just,
Everyone's got their priorities.
I'll just go to the library on my own.
We'll meet you in the library
It's
in
like-
about half an hour.
Oh, so
here,
you
go
said
and
you're
enchant
splitting
all our
up.
weapons and find some books for her. We're going to the pub.
Oh shit.
So you're splitting up.
Sounds like it.
Okay. So who's going where?
It sounds like me and Marilyn are going to go to the church
Yeah.
Okay.
and just get a little pray to Stendar for the safe journey over.
Okay.
And as well as for the souls of
during
the
that
orcs
orgy,
that we
she
got
should ask
off.
forgiveness.
Yeah, you probably should.
Stendar's called orgies.
Confess.
I don't think Stendar frowns upon
Orgies.
sex in all orifices.
Maybe
What you did is illegal in Skyrim and Morrowind.
It's
So
called Skyrim, not Rim This Guy. Okay.
I think you're mistaken. Where do you think he got his name?
So
The famous Skyrim.
okay,
excuse me while I win this guy.
you two leave the shop. You two leave the college surplus store, and looking up and down, there's a hard snow in your face, a harsh wind, and you do see the light of a temple just a little bit away. Moving closer to it, you can see that it is in fact the temple of Stendar.
I'm going to make this exact expression to Marilyn as we go.
I'm going to the library, and you guys are nerdier than I am.
Yeah.
Is there anything else to do in the town? Just as a question. Can I?
That's a very open question. There may be many.
Is there an
things in the
inn?
town. There is.
There is
Yep.
an
There's a tavern. Yep. But
I'm
you're-
sure there's some beggars that you can get rumours from.
I mean, are you?
I'm gonna. I'm gonna pop into the tavern while they're there and check and see if there's anything good crack-a-lacking.
Okay, so you head into the frozen hearth, which is on the outskirts of the city. It's you see that it's kind of quite busy. It seems to mainly be visitors. There's lots of different people here, not just Nords. There are Dunmer, there are Argonians, and there's a bard playing a lute and singing for the entertainment of the Petrons. So you guys, while Thorn is off getting acquainted with the local drinking hole, you guys at the temple, you see the temple's actually very quiet. It seems like there's no service going on at the moment. There is a small altar to Stendar, where if you want to go and pray.
Mm-hmm. To be like, praise be upon you, Stendar, for delivering us to Winterhold safely.
Are you planning on leaving a donation?
Well, I have no money on me,
Fair enough.
so
I'll put down 2 gold, 1 for each of us.
Okay, you're dropping 2 gold drakes, 1 for each
Yep.
of you. Very self-sacrificial of you there, Miralyn.
I know.
So you both receive Blessing of Stendar, so until your next long rest, you both have advantage on con saving throws.
Sick.
excellent.
Wish you'd had that before the orgy, eh, Marilyn?
Stendar was looking the other way at that time.
I meant just the extra constitution.
Adventure on condom
Extra
saving
stamina.
throws.
Condom saving
Increase.
throws.
Increased constitution. Is that fortitude against pregnancy?
So, I'm going to go back to Thorn. What are you up to in the frozen hearth?
So I sidle.
I'd like to join Thorn, by the way.
Yeah,
Okay, so
come on.
Thorn and Talon Shay are at the
Come on, Talon.
frozen
There
hearth.
might be a dice game.
Yeah,
I'll
take that.
I figured. So we stride in. I sidle up to the bar and I look at the person behind the bar. What do they look like? me
So
about them.
behind the bar is a Nord, a large blonde-haired Nord. Name is Dager. What can I get for you, strangers?
What ho, barkeep? Pour me an ale, please. What do you want, Talon?
I have a mead.
A mead. I'll have 1 mead and 1 of your finest pale ales, please.
Pale ales. We don't have any of
I want-
that.
I want-
drink
I want-
things here.
I want ale as pale as your pasty skin. God damn it! Give me a pale ale.
So there was
Look
me
here.
thinking mead. Well, la-di-da.
Listen, Bosma. If you want it pale, I can take the bottle round the back and piss in it for you.
Probably tastes better than your usual fare.
We only have 1 mead here. It's 2 gold.
Well, we
Get a
need
blessing
2.
of
I don't know
Stendar
what I'm
for
going
that.
to do with 1. There's 2 of us.
He serves you up 2 ales. 1 ale and 1. Was it a mead you asked for?
Yeah, 2 meads it was. I'll take
2
his mead.
meads? Jesus.
He doesn't have ale, did it? Did he?
He has
he said-
ale. He just doesn't have pale
Oh.
ale.
Pale. All right,
He doesn't
fine.
know
I'll
what the
have
hell you're talking about.
at least pale face. All right,
Real pale ale fail.
pale ale fail. Nice. Yeah, I'll pay him the mead. It's 2 gold, is it? A piece, or
Yeah, that's each drink.
I'll get yours, Talon.
Thank you. Can I roll for random chats?
Yeah,
Rumours.
you can.
Nice.
Is it a
got a
D6 we're rolling?
What is your
What
roll?
should he roll? A D6.
I've got a 2.
A 2. Okay. You hear a couple of Dunmer talking. They say that the word from Cyrodiil is that Cheydinhall are in talks to join the Empire. You guys recall that the Empire hadn't actually expanded over all of Cyrodiil yet. You guys took most of Western Cyrodiil, I think. You guys helped a lot in that campaign, and then you took the Imperial City. But Eastern and Southern Cyrodiil is kind of anyone's guess at the moment. But you hear rumours that there are some talks going on.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, Brumer, Carl, Anvil,
Carl,
Skingrad, and the Imperial City are ours. And then Bravil, Leowin, and Shadenhall weren't.
Bravil, Leowin, Shadenhall. Yep, that's right. Yep. And Anvil, actually. You guys never went as far west as Anvil.
Did we not?
Shithole.
You never went as far as Anvil.
Did we go to Blackwood? We did, didn't we?
We have never been as far as... Hang on, Blackwood? You mean Black Marsh?
Blackwood is by Black Marsh, but it's part of Cyrodiil. I think you may have been through there briefly.
Okay.
But I don't think you spent time there. You certainly never spent a lot of time in Leowin or Bravil, which are nearby.
Okay.
So I will also, as we're there, drinking my drink, chatting shit with Talon, and also listening out, and I have a 3.
A 3, okay. You hear the same group of Dunmer discussing a dreadful illness which has struck down many of their kin in Morrowind. You get the impression that they're not from Morrowind themselves. It sounds like it's just stories. They're a bit loose on the details, but it seems like a number of people they've heard have been struck down by some kind of horrible illness.
Probably COVID.
Yeah. I walk over to the Dunmer. I say, I'm sorry, but I couldn't help but overhear you talking of a terrible illness in Morrowind. What's the what happened? What's going on?
They look at each other a bit shifty. It's nothing, you know. It's Dunmer business. We don't like to discuss things with outlanders. Just forget we said anything.
Fine. I give them a look and I stride back to the bar, drink up my ale.
And what are you two doing in the church? Are you guys heading to...
Oh yeah, I would say Miralyn would probably want to go to
Probably want to go to the
get
pub.
some alcohol. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys enter the pub. And are you buying drinks as well, or are you just going to try and steal someone's empties?
Caecilius, would you like a mead?
Well,
Ask for a pale ale.
I'll
Yeah, they do. Thorin said
mead.
Why don't you try?
Ask for an apple teeny. And see what
I
it
don't.
is.
I mean, mead. You know, I don't really drink cocktails. In honesty.
Oh,
That Caecilius, he's a man's man.
sending someone
What
to
are
the
you-
burn unit.
Well, I mean, you know, I've just rocked up into this inn in like full heavy armor with a bloody tower shield strapped to my back. Like, I'm not ordering a mead.
I don't want your fucking honey drink. Give me the strong stuff. What do you drink, Caecilius?
An ale. Thank you.
An ale.
The pale ale here is very good. You should ask the barkeeper for one.
Yeah, actually, I can get you the pale ale if you want, because you're a bit light on coin, aren't you?
Not the darker the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, well, I
Okay.
can certainly ask the barkeep.
Sure thing.
But barman, you mentioned earlier on about a special pale ale from the outback. Do you mind getting me a glass for my friend, please?
It would be my pleasure. Nord takes a tankard, disappears round back. brings back a nice warm mug of stinking piss, tops it up with ale, slams it on the bar, and charges you 2 gold for it.
Perfect. And I deliver it to Caecilius.
I'm going to take one sip of it, and then I'm going to spit it out and turn to the barkeep and say, "What in blazes is this?"
Just exactly as the Argonian ordered. I know those lizards have funny taste, but I didn't think to give it to you.
I'm gonna square up to the barman.
Ooh.
You what, mate?
Thorn, I'm gonna go behind. Yeah.
Look here, milk drinker. I'm just a bartender. I serve what I'm asked. If you don't like it, take it up with your friend over there.
I'm gonna intimidatingly just sort of drop my tower shield on the floor with a thud and say, "I think I might need another drink."
Roll an intimidation check, please.
Hmm. Ten.
He looks down at the floor, looks back at you and squints his eyes. If that heavy piece of junk you just dropped has dented my wooden floor, then I'll be denting this bar with your head, milk drinker.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm gonna spit on the floor and then leave.
Okay, I'm going to say he's going to accept that. He's not going to follow you out or anything.
All right. I'm gonna drink up and head out to the library as well.
Yeah, same.
Wow, nice bit of shit stirring there, Talon Shay.
That was pretty pro.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. So you guys have all drunk up. Where are you guys headed?
Well, we said we'd. I said that I would meet Cyril in the library in about half an hour. I'm probably
Right.
running slightly late now.
No, I mean you only went for 1 drink, so it's not like
Alright.
London where it's 1 drink, but it's actually 10 drinks.
London.
You actually did just have 1 drink, so you're heading over to the College of Winterhold now.
Yep.
Okay, so easily the largest, grandest building in the city is the one you're looking for, the College of Winterhold, accessible only via a stone walkway, a narrow stone walkway. The college's high walls form a circular building with a tall tower at the rear. You're going to head across the walkway?
Yes.
Yes.
The walkway turns into a bridge and coming to a large gate with a symbol of an eye on it. In front of it is stood your friend Cyril. He appears to be in some kind of dispute with a Dunmer wearing grey robes.
Am I?
You cross the bridge at your own peril, says the young lady. The way is dangerous. The gate will not open. You shall not gain entry.
Why?
Yeah, why?
We do not just let anyone inside. This is the College of Winterhold, one of the finest and most elite establishments for learning the arts of wizardry in all of Tamriel.
Hey, Cyril, tell her how you gained entry back in.
I'm just gonna ask if she wants to see my wizarding credentials, and then move my fingers
trowel.
menacingly.
Oh.
I've already dropped trout. I've been here for about half an hour. Remember?
Oh, I mean, Firal's wizard staff is
It's got a
Not
knob on
made-
the end.
it's not made of wood all the time.
You are most unrelenting, Altmer. What business have you at our college?
I am Firal Silonerith. Maybe you've heard of me.
I have not heard of you.
Then this cannot be a very good library.
So it's the library you seek. What do you
Yes.
want in the library?
Books.
We don't just let anyone in here. State your business or be gone. She narrows her red eyes at you.
I, madam, am on a quest to find an Elder Scroll.
You seek knowledge of the Elder Scrolls.
Mmm.
What for?
That is my business.
Not if you wish access to the library at the College of Winterhold. It is my business.
I told you I'm on a quest.
Will any of you speak sense to me? Or must I deal with this bumbling lank?
I've literally never been called that before.
Oh.
That's the beauty of roleplay.
Yeah.
You should know your station, Dunmer. Do you know who this man is? He's the
obviously
right-
some sort of cretin.
He's the right hand of none other than Zuran Arctus, and I assume you've heard of him.
Ooh.
Zorin Arctus, the Wandering Wizard. He has been named Imperial Battle Mage.
So you have heard of him.
Look, I can't just let anyone inside here. Those who enter must show some degree of skill with the arcane arts. At least show me some kind of proficiency with spells so I can let you in.
I slap her ass with mage hand.
Wow. Cyril, you feisty bitch.
No, actually, I give it a little
established
pinch.
Dunmer?
Just a little pinch.
Sorry, what did you say, Cassilis?
Is it a female Dunmer?
Yes,
this
a
one.
female Dunmer. Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's hot.
Didn't know you were into that, but okay. Fair enough.
Oop, that's my kink.
Grey skin, red eyes, that's what I'm into.
Don't kink shame me.
What's that? Oh. Sorry, I thought Sam
Okay,
said
so
something.
you've slapped her ass with your
Mage
mage
hand.
hands.
Pinched her ass.
Pitched. It was a
Yeah, it was a cheeky little pinch.
chicken.
Look, I've tolerated about as much as I will
Huh?
from you. She pushes open the gate. It's true, our Arcanium does contain knowledge of the Elder Scrolls, but what you seek does not come easily. I can destroy those without a strong will. Be gone now, I'm sick of the sight of you.
I look her dead in the eye and I say, I can destroy those with a strong will.
So are you
Fuck no.
walking on?
We're in a feisty mood today, Christ.
Yeah, really.
Well, that was a good 45 minutes we just spent pissing about.
I have no idea what you're talking about. This is strong roleplay.
It's a strong roleplay,
This is-
yeah.
Like, the pissing about to dungeon crawling ratio needs to be, reasonable.
It needs to be
I
fair
feel,
to
I feel like I'm playing quite good. Firo is not good with the tough talk.
all the
I spent
ladies,
all my life in a
apparently.
library, Tyler.
Yeah, I know. You did well. You did well. I like how he gets laid once and is grabbing asses
Yeah, I
everywhere
was
he
gonna
goes.
say. He literally has his first sexual encounter last session, and now he's groping.
Drunk on power.
Yeah, really.
Has Skyrim had its Me Too moment yet?
I think it's
About to.
So walking through the gate, you find yourself in a huge circular courtyard with long banners flapping in the wind around the outskirts. Like the Mages Guild, the College of Winterhold also uses an eye for its symbol, but this one has 5 spiked points protruding from it, adding a kind of a subtle air of menace. The courtyard is full of snowy fir trees dotted around, and in the centre stands a large statue of a cloaked mage with arms extended over a large well. You see a group of people stood near the well. As you walk past towards the main door, the entry into the college, you can see there seems to be a lecturer giving a lecture out in the open to a small group of students.
Oh, I do love a
It
lecture.
was first developed by the Sigic Order, who were originally of Somerset. Mysticism, or augury, as you may have heard it called. But in the Order of Sigics, they refer to it only as the old way. If properly applied, it can unravel the mysteries of the universe. We experience it as a combination of magic and divine laws. But in its origins, on the Altmurray island of Artaeum, it is a deeply spiritual practice. Indeed, individual Sigics are expected to spend many years meditating in solitude, silent, but for a low hum they produce, to mimic what they believe is the sound of the universe. Sig. All together, join me all together now. Sig. So you go past in through the front door, and in front of you a long hallway stretches. Progressing down a little bit, you find the Arcanium, a large, circular, warmly lit room with large bookshelves lining the walls. This is really a heaven for the bookish among you.
Mm.
You see a counter at the back with a petite imperial lady going through various books and cataloguing various things. Can I help you?
I hope so. We are seeking knowledge on the Elder Scrolls and a place that Chris mentioned.
About the Ebonhart Pact.
The Ebonhart Pact, that's it. Wasn't a place.
You need information about the Elder Scrolls and the Ebonhart Pact. Well, I can recommend a number of books to you, but I don't have the time to find everything. You'll have to look for them yourself.
Oh, don't worry. I'm very well acquainted with the Dewey Decimal System.
Excellent, excellent. She scrawls a few names of books down and hands them over to you. So, what do you want to look out for first?
Well, I guess our main thing is to find out about the Ebonhart Pact, isn't it? So,
Okay.
and the Elder Scrolls are more of a secondary kind of thing. So, I guess we'll look for Ebonhart Pact books.
Okay, so there's a number of books that she's recommended for you.
Mm-hmm.
You ready? I'm going to call them out to you.
Okay.
Books on the Ebonhart Pact. The Second Akaviri Invasion by Yingmir Ravenquill.
Second Akavarian Invasion.
Regarding the Ebonhart Pact by Ikantar of Shimmerini.
Correct. Yeah.
Yoren the Skald King by Hrelgir Lutevoice.
Scrolling.
Guide to the Ebonhart Pact. No author listed.
Yeah.
Argonians Among Us by Sil Rothril.
Okay.
Very good.
Unexpected Allies. No author given.
Okay.
That's everything she's noted down for you about the Ebonhart Pact.
Okay. Maybe I could ask if there's any sort of rarer, more intermediate books, or are these the sort of best they have on this?
Well, this is everything we have on the topic. Rarer... I mean, I believe that regarding the Ebonhart Pact is especially revealing, and one or two of the others are very, very good, but it really depends what information you need. I'd recommend taking your time. Feel free to use our desks and go through them all.
Thank you. You've been very helpful.
You're welcome.
Oh, David wanted to ask about that table as well to enchant the weapons.
An
Yeah.
enchanting table.
You have an enchantment table anywhere in the university?
Oh, absolutely, sir, but you won't find anything like that here in the library. You'll need to go out into the university and ask one of the lecturers if you can use his table.
Okay. I'll wait till we've finished our research here because my esteemed colleague Cyril here would almost certainly be able to enchant something better than I could.
So what are you guys planning to do now?
Let's find some books.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to guard Cyril.
Okay, gonna sit down and geek out.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
Cyril.
quietly sit.
Cyril, what would you like to read?
Well, she said regarding the Ebonhart Pact was a really good one, so I guess
Okay.
we'll start with that. I mean, we might as well just try and grab all of these and start reading together if everyone's sticking around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can give it a go. The big words aren't so good for me, so
Just sound them out.
maybe just give me the thinnest one.
Regarding the Ebonhart Pact by Ankantar of Shimmerine. Our cousins, the Dark Elves, have been duly punished for the betrayal of their ancestry, because they have embraced and then attempted to emulate the Daedra. A curse has disfigured their bodies and blasted their land. That lesson was apparently insufficient, for they now have left the boundaries of their cursed domain and seek to infect the rest of the mainland with their heresies. The trio of wily demon spawn who rule them have duped the simple Nords and slave lizard Argonians into joining this mad escapade. To allow the Ebonhart Pact to rule in Cyrodiil would be just as foolish as to leave the Empire to one or another of the tribes of men. The Tribunal is ultimately an even greater danger to Nirn than the heedless and impetuous human nations. They must be driven back into their haunted corner of the continent with their power broken. Even with an Elder Scroll in their possession, although it came to them by means of thuggery and brutishness, they know not peace and wisdom. They hand it over to their simpleton man-friend, Yoren, the Skald King. That's the end of that one.
I think next we should read Yoren's Skull King.
Okay. So this is the guy that you're going to go and see. The guy that's trying to reform the pact.
Yeah.
Born in Second Era 546 to Queen Marbian Flamehair, Prince Yoren grew up knowing that his eldest sister, Nirnhilda, was fated to take the throne. A singer of rare talent in a culture that reveres the power of the human voice. Yoren studied at Skuld's Retreat on the Isle of Gold outside Riften. There, he learned all that could be taught by the most renowned bards of Eastern Skyrim. He was dubbed the Skald Prince of Skyrim. Yoren spent most of his youth in artistic and philosophical pursuits, cultivating a broad array of artists, artisans and performers throughout Skyrim and beyond. He spent time in Mournhold, Stormhold, Elnir, and is even reputed to have visited Solitude, the capital of Western Skyrim, in disguise. Though he claimed to have no interest in politics or the business of rule, his natural leadership qualities made him the unofficial leader of the creative community wherever he found himself. Though he received little formal schooling in the art of arms and warfare, as little as a prince of the Nords could manage, anyway. Travelling across Tamriel was always a dangerous activity. His travels taught him less orthodox way of dealing with trouble. Yoren was in Riften, where the Akaviri of Kamal assaulted the northeast coast of Skyrim in the Second Era, 572. Yoren and his closest comrades, the Pack of Bards, fought their way up the coast to Windhelm, having arrived just in time to see its gates breached. Yoren hurled himself into the fray, street fighting being something he had to experience, but was unable to prevent the fall of the city and the slaying of the Queen, who went down fighting. Wounded and devastated, Yoren barely escaped the sack of Windhelm alive. Feeling for the first time the responsibility of his royal birth, he decided to appeal to the Greybeards for aid, and so made his way stealthily but quickly to High Hrothgar. For reasons that have not been divulged, the Greybeards summoned a hero from Sovngarde, Wulfharth, Ysmir Wulfharth, the Under-King, who fought at Yoren's side. Together, Wulfharth and Yoren, now claiming the title Skald King, rallied the Nords of eastern Skyrim, mustering an army from the Rift and the outer regions of Eastmarch, and then fortifying their position. The Camel, moving south from Windhelm, found Riften defended by angry Nords, inspired by the presence of Wulfharth and eager to fight. The Camel bypassed Riften altogether and instead marched on Mournhold in Morrowind. The Akaviri leader, assuming that the Nords would be glad to see him go, that choice was a fatal mistake. Yoren and Wulfharth led their army in pursuit of the Akaviri, and a Nordic army entered Morrowind for the first time since the Battle of Red Mountain. The Akaviri army was caught at Stonefalls between the Nords and the Dunmer, led them by Almalexia, the living god herself. But the outcome of the great battle hung in the balance, until a surprise intervention from a phalanx of Argonians, led by a trio of reptilian battle mages. The Akaviri were broken, and they were driven into the sea, where they drowned by the thousands. That's that book.
That was good.
So
I
where
hope
are
you're
the
taking
drama
notes.
from?
Sorry?
Yeah.
So the drama from Morrowind.
The Dunmer are from Morrowind, yeah, they're the Dark
Dunmer.
Elves.
Okay.
Yeah. Want to read another one?
Yes, please.
Which one would you like to read?
Let's go with Second Curian.
The Second Akaviri Invasion.
That's the one.
Okay. Now, opening the book to the first page, the first thing it says is a request for funding. Though we Nords of Western Skyrim, Your Majesty, were fortunate to escape involvement in the recent Akaviri invasion of Tamriel, it is nonetheless important that we try to understand this strange affair, especially as it has led to our estranged kin in eastern Skyrim into a bizarre and ill-advised alliance with our ancient enemies, the treacherous Dark Elves of Morrowind. Though the events occurred only a dozen years ago, the facts of the incursion from Akavir are already becoming obscured by a fog of legend and conjecture. What do we know for sure? 1. We know that there are multiple realms in Akavir, and that the raiders of the First Era, who later gave the Empire its potentates, were from Teshi, while the forces of the recent invasion were from Kamal. However, we know virtually nothing about either of them. 2. The leader of this second invasion was the king of the Kamal, Adasum Dir Kamal. We know little about him or his reasons for invading Tamriel, even from our agents in the Eastern Kingdom. Few captured Akaviri knew any Tamrielic, and most died under interrogation. One report stated that Dir Kamal was seeking someone or something called the Ordained Receptacle, but this could easily be a bungled translation. 3. For reasons unknown, the Akaviri fleet sailed around the northeast corner of Tamriel into the Sea of Ghosts, bypassing the Telvanni Peninsula, Vardenfell, and Solstheim, before finally landing at the mouth of the White River, northeast of Windhelm. 4. The invasion was a complete surprise, and Windhelm was invaded before the Queen could muster the hold in defence. After a brief siege, the invaders besieged the southern gate, and the city was sacked and burned. Both the Queen and her daughter and heir were slain in fierce battle before the gates. 5. The royal cadet Prince Yoren escaped the sack of Windhelm and briefly disappeared. When he reappeared, he was calling himself King Yoren, and was accompanied by a mighty warrior who he claimed was Ysmir Wulfharth, the Under-King, sent back from Sovngarde to help the Nords defeat the Akaviri. With this so-called Wulfharth at his side, Yoren rallied the Eastern Nords and fortified Riften. 6. When the Camel moved their army south from Windhelm, they bypassed Riften altogether. Once again, the motivations are unclear, and they marched straight into western Morrowind, where they were opposed by Dark Elf forces, who staged a fighting retreat through the Ashlands under the command of Armalexia and her leading general Tanval of House Indoril. 7. The Camel pursued the Dunmeri army into eastern Stonefalls, where the elves halted their retreat by occupying prepared defences. The Akaviri advance slowed and stopped, and suddenly the Nord army under Yoren and Wulfharth appeared in their rear. This cannot have been by chance. Incredibly, we must conclude that despite the age-old enmity between Nord and Elf, there was collusion between Yoren and Almalexia, and the envelopment of the Akaviri at Stonefalls was according to plan. 8. The Akaviri, however, were not easily defeated. With their backs to the inner sea, they fought a desperate defence, attempting to hold out until their ships could come from the White River estuary and take them from the shore. Despite repeated attempts, the combined Dunmer-Nord army failed to break their lines. The Akaviri fleet was actually visible on the northern horizon when another incredible event occurred. At the last moment, the Nords and the Dark Elves were reinforced by 2 legions of Argonians, who marched to the battle from the south. With the infusions of the reptile shellbacks, the Tamrielics finally broke the Akaviri line, and with nowhere to escape, the Akaviri invaders were slaughtered to their last soldier. As your majesty no doubt realizes, this account raises far more questions than answers. What we know about this affair is dwarfed by what we do not know. Thus, my request to fund a royal committee of inquiry to look into the grave implications of this matter. I, of course, will volunteer to lead this committee, provided the burden of such a task can be offset by an appropriate stipend. That's the end of that book.
A dark day for Akavir indeed.
Indeed.
Remind me, where did I get my Akaviri katana from? Am I part Akaviri?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You are descended from the Akaviri Dragon Guards. So
Yeah,
they were the
sure.
first wave of Akaviri to invade Tamriel, who were beaten back by Riemann and joined him, essentially. They pledged themselves to the Dragonborn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you are pledged to this day to the Dragonborn.
Oh.
So what do you want to do next?
Should we go with Guide 2?
Guide to the Ebonhart Pact?
That's the one.
Okay.
Mind if I just run out and grab a drink?
Yep, go ahead.
Can't be a second.
You take your time, sir. How do you guys feel about a reading session?
Not
A
so
session
far.
where we read.
I'm struggling to retain very much of this.
I hope you're taking notes.
No.
Well,
Well, Firrell better be because
One of you
Firrell
better
and Alan Shay better be because they're the ones who this affects the most.
well, you guys are all going into this together. You guys are heading into enemy territory. You're going behind
Yeah,
enemy
but
lines.
my cover is that I'm just a bodyguard. I'm going to rock up in full plate armor. Like, no one's going to mistake me for a delegate.
I live my
That's
life in the
true.
woods. I'm not. This is not my thing.
Well, that's true.
But I mean, I will take some notes if you could just quickly recap all the salient points.
I'm not going to do that.
I've been writing bullet point notes, so
Oh,
Okay.
good work, Firrell. Yes, Firrell, come on, say that.
Party to use their perk for photographic memory.
So, Guide to the Ebonhart Pact. The Ebonhart Pact has forged an unlikely alliance between the far-flung nations of Morrowind, Skyrim, and Blackmarsh, bringing together the Dark Elves, the Nords, and free Argonians for their mutual defence. Thanks to the size of its allied nations and the distances involved, the Pact remains relatively free of inner strife and discord. The Nords and Dark Elves have so much of their own territory to deal with that they have little time to spare for meddling in each other's affairs. The Ebonhart Pact came about in the Second Era, 572, in response to the Second Akaviri invasion of northern Tamriel. The Nords, Dark Elves, and free Argonians joined forces to save the rest of Tamriel from slaughter and subjugation. Forged in war, the alliance brought a sudden new power to the continent. At first, few believed the Dark Elves would be able to maintain such an alliance with their ancient blood enemies and former slaves. But after a troubled decade, the Pact remains strong and intact. A great moot governs the Pact. This council of equals from each of the member races is not only known for hot tempers and loud voices, but also for mutual respect and an amazing will to hold the Pact together against all odds. Only as equals can the Allies hope to mollify the pride of the Nords and the Dark Elves, while addressing the injuries suffered by the once enslaved Argonians. Serving as an integral, perhaps even critical part of the Alliance, the Dark Elves of Morrowind are aloof, proud, and profoundly strange. They work hard to conceal their disdain for their inferior allies, but the current crisis requires the strong arms of the Nords and the wily resourcefulness of Argonians to keep rival alliances at bay. Wizardly craft and a deep well of experience serve the Dark Elves well, providing the Pact with the vital ability to react and adapt, something neither the Old Mary Dominion nor the Daggerfall Covenant can claim to do as well. The Pact fields superior warriors and sorcerers, and they possess an asset that no other race can match: 3 living gods, Armalexia, Vivek, and Sotha Sil. The Nords of Eastern
can you
Skyrim,
just repeat the gods' names then?
Armalexia,
Alexia,
Vivek,
Vivek,
Sotha Sil.
Sophasil.
Yeah, it's 2 words. Sotha Sil.
And they're living gods, right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
The Nords of Eastern Skyrim are fearless and aggressive, industrious and enterprising. They excel at war and prosper in trade, and they are without equal as explorers and trailblazers. Strong, stubborn, and hardy, they customarily solve their problems through combat. Nords cheerfully rush into battle with a ferocity that frightens and appalls their enemies. They accept and even revel in their role as shock troops for the Ebonhart Pact. Nords are direct, not subtle. They champion simple solutions in the meetings of the Great Moot, though they are often outvoted by shrewd Argonians and sagacious Dark Elves. On the field of battle, however, they have no equal. Pact generals tend to be Nords, as are most of the soldiers in the field. The Nords don't mind. This means they get the first choice of the spoils of war. By their decisive intervention against the Akaveri, the Argonians of Blackmarsh won their freedom from Dark Elf enslavement, and the lessons they learned have made them a valuable member of the Pact. Reserved and alien, their expressionless faces and flat intonations make it difficult for other races to interpret their true motives. Nevertheless, the Argonians possess cool intelligence, slow to trust and hard to know. Their natural agility makes them as comfortable employing magic as they are using stealth and steel. Years of defending their borders have made them experts in waging war against stronger, more traditionally organised armies. Equally at home on land or in water, they serve as scouts and skirmishers among the Pact forces. Other aspects of Argonian culture are nearly incomprehensible to outsiders, including their social hierarchy and collective decision-making. Their representatives present strange proposals without explanation, but their allies have learned that there's always a reason for everything they do. Today, the young Yoren, the Skull King, serves as the acting High King of the Moot. But not all in the Alliance support him. As the members of the Pact struggle to maintain and solidify their alliance, they must also deal with internal threats. Unsolved, these threats could destroy them before they ever face any of the other alliances in open battle. And that's the end of that one, but you also see what appear to be a book of lyrics and sheet music. It seems like there's an Ebonhart Pact anthem of sorts, and
Can we learn it?
let me find the book for you.
Ebonhart über alles.
There it is. You guys should be able to see it.
Oh,
Oh, let me get my guitar 1 second.
a bit of sight singing. Nice.
So you've got lyrics and music.
Do you actually have the music? Like, can you play it?
Maybe. Well, can you play it? That's the question.
Well,
Do
yeah,
any of
give
you
me.
do any of you play?
I mean, I can read music. I can get my piano if you want.
No. Can your character read music?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
interested
yeah.
in you. I'm interested in your
Oh, yeah.
character. Can your Bosma play?
My character can play the flute.
Okay.
There we go.
Does he have a flute?
I do have a flute.
Okay.
I can't play anything.
Should we really play a flute in a library?
Yes.
Might be in an
Oh,
appropriate
God.
place. They might ask you to go outside.
Move aside, nerd.
So you've got,
Move aside, nerd. I'm just going to play my flute in this library.
Yeah.
like
Oh,
a
bad.
fucking jock.
I feel
got-
like Cyril has to say something here. You can act like brutes when you are in the pub, but when we are in the library, you will behave. I will ask the librarian
assertive.
nicely if we can take the sheet music to the courtyard.
You're such a prick, Farrell.
the
Loser.
the librarian stamps your library card and lets you take the book out.
Thanks.
We retire to the courtyard. I give Farrell a wedgie on the way.
Okay, so what do you?
Roll for it.
All right.
Roll for giving him a wedgie.
Yep. I'm going for over the head.
Oh,
So
wow,
I got-
okay.
An 18,
18.
for playing.
Oh,
I got
that's
an 18.
definitely
You got an 18
over the
before.
head.
I got
Wait,
an
hang
18
on, hang
for
on, hang on,
rolling.
hang on, hang on. Who rolled that?
I did.
Well,
Oh,
I rolled the first one, and then Tyler picked it up.
There's a let's do rolls one at a time here. Are you actually rolling to give him a wedgie?
Yeah, I rolled a 10.
You rolled a
Plus
10,
what?
okay.
My strength, which is -2. I got an 8.
You got an 8, okay. I'm gonna say you mildly hurt his crack.
Sorry, are you wedging Talon Shay?
No,
Feral.
he's wedging.
Oh, he's
Feral.
wedging
Being-
Feral. Oh,
For being such a nerd.
Such a bully.
Out of
Oh.
everyone here, are you really the jock?
I'm not the
wouldn't have thought
jock.
so.
Talon Shay's the jock, and I'm just backing him up. I'm the lead guy behind
Caecilius
him.
is clearly the
Yeah,
jock.
Caecilius
Yeah.
is definitely the job.
Except he would never do that.
Yeah, but Caecilius is is not that type of jock.
Yeah, he would. You were about to call him a pussy, but you didn't.
No, because I'm too frightened of him.
Because he's a jock.
I have strength of 8. The best I can do is run.
Okay, so
It was only a cheeky wedgie anyway, a bit of a joke.
Talent
Between-
say you want to try and learn this on the flute.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Very much so.
So can you make a performance check?
I will. A 7.
7. Okay. It seems like you're a little bit rusty. You haven't played for a while.
The entire time we've been fucking
yeah.
doing this.
Um,
Never have I
I
seen
would
Talon
say
Shay just
that,
bust out.
you
I
can,
played the. Yeah, I
you can
played the
just
flute at the
about
beginning.
pick out the main melody, but by the looks of it, it looks like the sheet music is intended for a lute.
Oh, see
You
that's
have one
why
letter
I'm
too
playing
many.
badly.
Not the flute, the lute.
No.
The
But you've got the lyrics there, and you could always do something else with them. You can
Give
try
us
and
the
learn them
melody.
the other way.
Give us the melody first. That seems good.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
trying to get it to fit to Jerusalem, but it doesn't quite fit.
Should we could take it to the lute player in the bar, as long as Caecilius doesn't mind going back in there.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have alienated the park.
I'm sure it's fine.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure. I mean, he's only a Nord, and it's only violence.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure if we do go back there, he'll have had time to reconsider his position and apologise.
Okay, so you guys are leaving the college.
Well, we wanted to go see if we're going to hit up an enchanting table, right?
We could do that after.
We can do that after, sure.
Okay. So you guys are leaving and heading out to the Frozen Hearth. Entering in there, you see that it's a little less busy than it was before. Things are it's starting to get to kind of late afternoon now, and that you do see that the lute player is there, the bard is there.
Barman, could you please play this fine song?
I thought you were going to say 4 meads and a pale ale.
Why are you asking me? He's the bard.
Oh, sorry. I meant to ask the bard. Sorry, I got it confused.
Bardman.
He points over to this short Breton guy.
This barman must think we're so weird.
Hello, patrons. Come for a special request.
Yes.
What can I do for you?
Someone else want to take this? Who's
No,
got
go
the
on,
sheet?
Thorn, you're
We've got-
doing really well.
we have this bit of music that we're trying to learn. We're sort of amateur choirmen and women, and we thought we'd learn a historical piece. Do you happen to know it?
Well, Floyan Renolia is at your service. I play lute, I sing,
What was your
I
name?
even dance a little bit.
No, wait. What was your name?
Floyan.
The whole thing, please.
Floyan Ranolia.
That's a wonderful name. You
Why,
sound
thank
like a
you.
great guy. Please do sing this song for us.
Flattery will get you nowhere, sir. I'm afraid I charge 10 drakes for requests.
Ah, shit.
Go on, Thorn, you got this.
No.
Shouldn't have
Alright,
wedged
fine.
me.
Fine, I'll pay the 10 gold, and I'm sorry for wedging you, Firo. I take it all back. I pay him 10 gold, looking a bit annoyed.
Should we all put in 2 each?
No, I got it. I got this
okay.
one.
Oh, Tyler's treating us all to a song.
Okay, he clears
Yeah.
his throat.
Do I need to listen? Do I need to turn my sound on my computer now?
If you want to hear what it sounds like,
If you want
Yeah,
to
I do want to hear what it sounds like. All right, 1 sec. I'm just gonna plug my headset in to my computer.
I'll crank the volume up a bit.
Okay, can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, I can
yes.
hear
Cool.
Okay,
I'm
ready?
just trying- 1 sec. So it's just need to also turn up sound on tabletop because I keep it constantly down because of that horrible music. Oh, I can just turn up the MP3 volume. Alright, that's been done.
Should I play it?
Do it.
We tilled Skyrim's ground despite frozen toil. We tended the Quama beneath
I can't really hear
Morrowind's
it.
soil. We
I can hear it okay.
hunted the
I don't hear
Wamasu
anything.
in black marshes glades. We
I think there's
three hearts
something in the
had
background.
no need for
Okay, I'll tell you what, if you guys, those guys of you who are having trouble hearing it, I'm just going to send you a link to it on YouTube.
Okay.
So that you guys
What's
can
the
listen to it.
Wamasu?
So that you guys can listen to it there. It's an animal. So I'm just going to give you guys a link, and those of you that can't hear can listen to it via YouTube. But I'm just going to play it anyway.
How are you sending the link?
I'll put it in the
Group.
Google chat.
Sweet ass man.
Alright, I'm waiting for it. Is it in the chat yet?
Give me a second, jeez.
We tilled Skyrim.
Alright.
Jesus Christ, you patient fucker.
How about now? Is it there yet?
Are you there yet?
Yeah,
Is your
I'm
Getting
nearly
face
there.
there yet?
nearly there.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, I got it. Cool.
I'll start it.
We tilled Skyrim's ground despite frozen toil. We tended the Quama beneath Morrowind's soil.
Well, this is
We
good.
hunted the Wamasu in black marshes glades. We three hearts had no need for blades. Then they came from the seas, folded steel in their hands. They burned down our homes and ravaged our lands. Akaviri brought nothing but bloodshed and lies. Our families were slain before our eyes. With three separate people, they shared a cruel joke, a choice between death or the yoke. But then our three people knew what must be done to end the oppression. All three became one, forged by war. The Ebonharts rose and drove the Akaviri back to the sea. When the enemies begged for the mercy they lacked, voices as one shouted blood for the pact. Forged by war, our story be told. No shackles can hold us, whether moonstone or gold.
Nice.
He bows. to you.
Question is, is that actually the music that's on this sheet?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I'm thinking to myself, that's
That's a tune.
I don't know too much about lute tunings, but I'm guessing that that many flats is not very easy for the lute. I'm guessing it's something like a guitar. And I mean, what's that? E flat? I don't know.
Well, so
That's
what we've managed to, I guess, ascertain is that the Ebonhart Pact, not widely known for their songwriting, I suppose.
I thought it was pretty classic.
Yeah, I think you should put
Really?
like 10
Oh,
Drakes
the
in the
pack.
jukebox.
Well,
Tyler. I want to hear it again.
It's hardly an age of oppression, is it?
To answer your question, Andy, about Wamasu, you would know this being an Argonian. Wamasu are big, dangerous reptiles native to Black Marsh.
All right.
They're like spiky,
Komodo dragon.
angry dragon things. Not dragon. They're like not dragons. They're kind of like demented crocodiles, kind of.
All right. So I got a question. So are we for or against this pack? Because the more I hear about this, the better it sounds.
You're against this pact because you're part of Tibus Septim's army, and you don't want this pact to be formed.
Right, because it's so my character has a trait of the strongest are meant to rule, and the more I hear about this, the pack sounds awesome.
But they
Yeah, but
weren't
they're
the
not-
strongest, though. Like, they had to club together to even have a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
but-
they've been disbanded for a long time now, and this guy who your army has got under siege, he's now desperately trying to get some of them back together. I
Oh,
don't know
right,
if you can
okay.
call his a position of strength necessarily, seeing
Got
as how
you, okay.
you guys have basically unified the rest of Skyrim against him.
Alright, so, last act of a dying city.
Kind of.
Last act of a dying Wamasu.
A cornered
Wamasu.
Wamasu is the most dangerous.
Is that true, Talon? Or do cornered Wamasus just roll over and accept their fate?
No, they are the fiercest of every animal.
Really?
Yeah. That's why
Even
Argonians are...
man?
Yes.
The deadliest prey?
Amazing.
So what do you guys want to do? Are you guys going to try and learn this song?
Yes. I think that would be good for our cover. And this, unfortunately, fortunately/unfortunately, is exactly the kind of thing that, as a bodyguard, I probably would know, even if I don't really know much else.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm going to request you to play it for me.
Well, I'm not going to play it, but what I'm intending to do is be able to give a
No.
rousing rendition of it in a tavern somewhere.
So do you guys want to have a practice of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Come on,
So-
everybody!
Can I just be
The,
like the bears of the
so
group
the-
and just like
The bard.
jump around a bit?
The bard speaks up and says, if you are an amateur choir, I'd be happy to just play the lute and you can sing the words along.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, go on.
So I'm going to send you guys another link. So those of you that don't have good audio,
You could fit this to the Age of Oppression, you know.
do you think so?
And toil, we
Think so?
tended the something beneath Morrowind soil.
There's only really one Elder Scrolls song, isn't there?
I believe that is the joke, yes. What? The Age of Oppression and the other one used the same song? I guess the two sides are more similar than we thought.
Maybe peace can be found after all.
Where are you sending this link? I don't see it.
Shut up.
I can't even remember what the name of the other song is. Age of Oppression and
Age of Aggression was the
Age of
other one.
Aggression, yeah.
Okay, so there you go. There's the link for those of you who are listening via.
Where have you sent this? Sorry.
It's in Hangouts.
In Hangouts?
Yeah. Those of you who are listening via Tabletop, I'll play it in Tabletop.
Okay. And hopefully we'll all synchronize at the same time so that we're not out of time with each other.
I'm doing this on my phone, so I don't think I can listen and see the lyrics at the same time.
You can't listen and see.
There is
at
also-
No, I
the
can't-
same time?
I can't
Oh,
be
okay.
on Hangouts and YouTube at the same time.
Well, you'll.
Oh,
just
you
need
don't
to-
have a YouTube Premium membership.
you'll-
Actually, I could just go onto my iPad and look it
Yeah.
up.
Maybe they've got it on Spotify.
You could do it on there.
Right, hold on. I'm just going to type in the link. If I was just going to do like a Google search for it, what would I type in?
You would type in Ebonhart Pact anthem or Ebonhart Pact song.
Ebon-
And then we're all going to try and press play at the same time. Is that the plan?
Maybe only one of you could do it, and the rest could just join in.
Yeah, but I don't know
That's
the lyrics.
Maybe you could just look at the lyrics
Yeah.
and then sing along with whoever is singing.
It's okay. Look up the lyrics. You can Google the lyrics. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a well-known song, Dan.
It'll be on Google.
Ebon... Fuck's sake.
I don't know. I mean, Google was having trouble finding the Artex ceiling that I was looking for earlier.
I don't know what that is.
Well, I will show you.
Sounds riveting though.
Oh, it's beautiful. Pilot a Galaxy, something like that.
I have the lyrics.
So who can hear what's playing in?
I can.
I can.
Cannot.
Tyler, do you
But I
hear
can't
Tabletop?
see the lyrics because there's like a grey pulsating blob on top of them.
A grey.
Oh, you need
pulsating
to
blob.
pick a side, Gwen.
Yeah,
pick a color.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Oh, Gwen's been a spectator this whole time.
There
It's
you
not
go.
like we've had to do anything on the board. I can't hear tabletop, but I can see the lyrics, so I will join in with gusto when anyone else
I
starts
think-
singing.
Everyone who can hear should start singing,
Okay.
and then the others should just try and follow. I think that'd be the most fun.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I need
ready?
At least one more me before I do this.
Totally horrendous as well, but go on.
He's gonna. Okay, so he's gonna count you in. Okay.
I'm going to count you in.
You're gonna. Oh, you're gonna count us in. Okay.
No, okay. Oh, sorry. The bard's going to count us in.
Well,
Okay,
he's
good.
he's playing for you.
Go on then.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Not quite like that, but there you go. It started now.
Luke Solo.
I hear it a tiny bit. It's coming through someone else's speakers, I think.
None of you are going to sing?
Oh, hang on, what have you done? This is way, way quieter than it was before.
I guess it's just the... Shall I just put on the version with his voice? It might help to hear
Yeah.
his voice.
Yeah.
That will help us sing.
We don't know where
There
the
you
lyrics
go.
go.
We tilled Skyrim's ground.
Okay.
Despite
Despite frozen
toil,
toil,
we
tended
tended the
the
Kwama beneath
Kwama
Morrowind's soil.
soil.
We
We hunted
We hunted the Wamatsu and Black Marshes blades.
We
three
had
no
no
need
for blades.
Blades.
I have the lyrics to a different Ebonhart Pact song.
Then
They
they
came
came
from the sea.
from the
The
sea,
sea.
folded steel in their hands. They burned down
They
our homes and ravaged our lands. Akaviri brought nothing but bloodshed. Our families were slain for our eyes.
Do you know what I also think doesn't help necessarily? There is clearly a lag between each of us talking as well.
With 3 separate people.
But then the 3 people knew what she'd done to them.
All 3 became one. Forged by war, the Ebonharts rose and drove the Akaviri back to the sea.
When the enemies begged for the mercy they lacked,
3
3
voices
voices
as
as one shouted, "Blood for the
Pact!
Forged by war,
Our
our
story
stories
be
told.
told.
No shackles can hold us, whether stone or
Stone or
gold.
gold.
Beautiful.
That was awesome.
GG, guys, we're ready for this
Guys,
now.
that was everything that I'd hoped it would be when I was preparing this. That went exactly how I wanted it to go.
I had the lyrics for a different Ebonhart Pact song to start with, so I had to
Oh.
find these ones.
Well, I'm glad you found the right ones, and you were
So-
terrific.
Alright,
Yeah,
Chris, can I go from -1 performance to now 0 performance? Because I leveled up.
Because you've done some practice. No, sorry. You need to actually put some points into that skill.
Bullshit.
Yeah, you don't level up your abilities.
You need to put some points into that stat, bruh.
Charisma. Pass.
So are you guys confident with that? You're happy that you know that, or do you think you need?
Yeah.
You might need another go with it.
Nah, I got it off by heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all good.
Okay.
I definitely don't want to do it again.
You guys must look like a bright bunch of freaks wherever you are singing into your computers.
That was the most awkward sing along ever.
I really enjoyed that. I just want you to know, as your DM, that's one of my happiest moments so far. Making you all sing into your mics was phenomenal.
This definitely should have been the one you recorded for your YouTube channel.
It is.
You're the one I'm recording for my YouTube channel. Okay.
The mum
so
one I'm recording for my YouTube channel.
what are you guys doing?
Oh, go back to the library and read other books.
We're going back to the library. Okay. So you make your way into the library without incident. No one stops you at the gate this time.
Can we ask the librarian if we can photocopy the lyrics?
No, you can't, because photocopiers don't exist.
I was hoping she'd just write it all out for us.
You can ask her if you want, but you might get a slap. I mean, that's pretty cheeky.
Nah, I'll leave it alone.
I can say that you're going to write it out and make a copy of it if you want to.
Yeah,
do that.
okay. Let's
Yeah.
do that.
Do you want to just make a note that you've got a copy of the Ebonhart Pact?
Yes,
Anthem.
okay. I can find my pencil.
So what next in your research?
Next, we would like to read Argonians Among Us.
Argonians Among Us by Sil Rothrill. Argonians Among Us by Sil Rothrill. Argonians are scaled and of limited intelligence, and they are part of our everyday lives. In Morrowind and its surrounding regions, they are seen in every city and every town. They bring us our meals. They dress our children. But who are they, really? Argonians originate from a region known as Black Marsh, the water-soaked, depressing land. It reeks of swamp gas and teems with insects. In their native land, the Argonians squat in fetid pools and worship primitive tribal gods. Their folk magics and simple tribal armies have never proven an adequate defense against men or mer of stout heart. The swamp was first pacified by the Cyrodiilic army in First Era 2811. Those cruel and capricious men only entered the region to end the rule of a human bandit king. After the gauntleted hand of civilization came to the Argonians, their home served primarily as a prison state. The unthinking brutes of Cyrodiil callously released their most violent and unhinged criminals into the marsh. Who's messing around with my table?
Sorry,
Leave my table alone.
I didn't mean to.
Almost 600 years ago, Dark Elves entered the lives of this scaly servant race. As the Second Era dawned, we began working with the Argonians in earnest. Whole tribes were evacuated to the safety of and dry climates of Vardenfell, Stonefalls, and Deshaan. We offered them appropriate foodstuffs and taught them the ways of civilized culture. We fashioned garments to hide their more shameful features and sent them into the world, so they could learn and serve their new environs. In return for the Dark Elves' generosity, we've asked so little of the Argonians. And yet, not all denizens of that fetid place feel true appreciation. Indeed, our time of close collaboration came to an end just a few years ago. A horrific disease known as the Catan flu brewed in the steamy depths of the marsh, spread across the region, rumoured to be a product of an Argonian tribal shaman. The plague struck all without reptilian ancestry, slaying uncounted numbers. Most tragically, other races began to fear the Argonians as spreaders of the plague. Our efforts to send Argonians on journeys of discovery were rebuffed at every turn. Today, of course, Argonians stand side by side with us at the Ebonhart Pact. Once, they were merely our servants, but now we have elevated this simple reptilian stock. They are strong, proud contributors to our military alliance, and cared for members of our households. The Argonians among us enrich our lives.
Wow.
Did you enjoy that one?
Argonian lives matter.
Scaly lives matter.
It does sound like you just got a 17th century history book and then just changed one word to Argonian.
I think you've read most of the books.
We still have Unexpected
There's
Allies.
Unexpected Allies is the last one about the Ebonhart Pact.
I guess this is going to be more racist propaganda about the scaly Argonians.
Unexpected
Or maybe it'd be the Dark Elves.
Allies. When I was a lad, I stood at the eastern edge of Skyrim, and I looked upon Morrowind. From Stendar's beacon I could see the red mountain of Vardenfell, but I never ventured there. Like many Nords, I was content to leave foreign lands to the foreigners. A scant 10 years ago, in Second Era, 572, my father took a different path. He fought with our Dunmerry allies to repel the Second Akaviri invasion. As a soldier of Skyrim, he was there when the Nords pursued the invaders into Stone Falls. He told me of an army on the brink of ruin, marching ever further into foreign territory, hungry and nearly broken. Until the Dunmer brought in Argonian troops to aid the Nords. No one expected this. I still cannot believe it. The Dunmer once held the Argonians as slaves. Yet on that day, the Argonians' arrival changed the course of history. From the jungles they came, adorned with blood and mud. Akaviri fell beneath their claws, as well as the swords and spells of their Nord and Dunmerry allies. The alliance was forged on that day, and has not faltered since. Agreements were signed in Ebonhart, but these were just formalities compared to the ties made on the battlefield. Our alliance was forged in the fires of adversity, a shield to protect us from all invaders. Our cultures differ, but our aims bind us. A few years ago, the Dunmerry Tribunal called for more troops from our alliance, insisting that we take up arms against a new enemy, an empire growing in Cyrodiil. Our enemies in the Covenant and Dominion also sent troops to liberate this territory. And now, war rages across Tamriel. Khajiit and Bosmer war against Dunmer and Argonian. Ultima strikes against Skyrim, and from High Rock, the Daggerfall Covenant attacks us all. Why, the Argonians? They have proven themselves in battle. They swam up the Topor Bay right before my eyes and took Leowyn from the Imperials. Together, we lay siege to Bravil and took the city. Well, in the midst of such chaos, what choice do we have? Our alliance with the Dunmer and the Argonians has stood for a decade. I have fought beside our allies in battle, and when I return home, I shall tell my children proud tales of victory over our foes, fighting with these scaly lizards beside me. The Pact never ceases to amaze me. I have spoken at great length with Argonian mystics, marvelling at their view of the world. I have walked into the caves of Dunmerry priests, staring at shadows as they tell me tale of their gods. And someday, we will walk together into the heart of Cyrodiil. Dunmer, Argonian, and Nord. We will triumph under the banner of our pact. Steadfast allies who can never be defeated. End. Oh, you really are making notes.
Yep.
So how long ago was the pact?
Oh, it was a good, what was it, 30, 40 years ago?
Oh, okay.
It was a good while ago.
And what broke up the pact?
The war ended. Essentially, the threat of the Daedric invasion was repelled, and that started the alliances falling apart.
Right,
And
okay.
they kind of warred each other to fatigue, really.
Okay.
So those are all the books on the Ebonhart Pact. The other books that she's given you don't seem to be related.
Okay.
The other books she's given you, do you want a list of the ones that she recommends?
Yep.
So there's one called An Accounting of the Elder Scrolls,
Yeah.
but she's also written underneath Assorted Rare Books, Clans of the Reach, a guide, The Order of the Black Worm,
Horns of the Rich. Order of the Black Worm.
History of the Fighters Guild, Part 1 and 2, Spirit of the Daedra,
Sorry, what was that one?
Spirit of the Daedra, and the last one is called Sithis.
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 Yeah. So she's written An Accounting of the Elder Scrolls. That one's just about the Elder Scrolls, and these others are just rare, sort of uncommon books that they might have.
Oh. Can I take them out on my library card?
Maybe not the rarer ones.
Hmm.
You'll have to ask.
I'll ask her. I just don't think everyone wants to sit here listening to all the books. I thought maybe I could read some on the road.
Well, it's up to you to decide which ones are the important ones. You know, whether you want to read the ones that are to do with your quest, whether you want to read some of the additional ones she recommends. It's really up to you.
I want to read them all.
Yeah. Maybe she'll let you buy some.
He must require the knowledge. Must
Perhaps
acquire
I could-
the knowledge.
Perhaps I could trade some of my rare books for these rare books.
Well, the one that she's told you that's relevant to your quest is the Accounting of the Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Do you want to read that one?
Yeah, definitely.
An Accounting of the Elder Scrolls.
Guys, I might need to
Do you need to duck out?
drop out. Yeah.
No, it's fine. I think we should probably call it here. It's getting on.
Yeah.